Hi everyone, it is time for a new video, and today I'm going to be doing some adult romance recommendations based around all your favorite tropes. I've been trying to do trope based videos for a while, but every time I'm like, where do I begin? You know, what do I do? And so I decided I'm just going to round up all the main tropes, and for each of them I'm going to do a book or two, and then maybe later on, you all can tell me which tropes you want to see the most, and I'll do dedicated videos to the one specific trope. So let's just jump straight into it. So it's gonna be in no particular order, and there are gonna be tropes that I'm not doing in here because I could definitely do a part two, because even if I did, just one book for each, which I was incapable of anyways, I would be here forever. Starting off, we have the second chance trope, and I have two incredible books for this, starting with Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, and this one is incredible. I have talked about Kennedy Ryan before, and it will never be enough because she truly is absolutely incredible at what she does, and this is a second chance romance in a way that is incredibly painful and emotional and worth every second. So our two main characters in this are divorced, and they're co-parenting and also working together, and so they're still very much present in each other's lives, but there's so much pain in between them. There is a lot that happened, and so they've grieved a lot, and they still absolutely love each other, but they needed some time apart to like heal individually, and so this book hurts. It was incredibly painful, but so beautiful, and I literally could not breathe until I finished this. Like, I read it in one sitting because I just needed to get to the part where everything is okay. And it is truly incredible. If you still have not read the series, you need to read this. This is the first one in the series, and just generally, Kennedy Ryan is one of the most incredible romance writers, and you need to read all of her books. So this is definitely one of the best ones, even though I've loved every single one of them that I've read. So yeah, definitely read this. And the other book that I have for this is a historical romance, and that one is The Portrait of a Duchess by Scarlett Peckham. I unfortunately do not have the physical copy, but I desperately need to because I love this cover. And it actually partially shows their dynamic very well. And for this, I'm going to read you a few little points that I wrote down on Goodreads for like all the main best things, which is marriage of convenience, second chance, obviously. An independent, rebellious heroine involved in politics, a bisexual hero who would do absolutely anything for her, so swoony, steamy, and sex positive, and refreshingly modern in many ways. So this whole series by Scarlett Peckham, I completely recommend. All of her books have kind of like feminist like plot lines, or, heroines and vibes, and like in the best way, and the heroine of this is truly incredible and one of a kind, and the hero is incredible as well. So swoony, so good, so perfect. You all need to read this. Historical romance in general has so much yearning and pining, and I really need more people to give this genre more love, because it is just everything. So the two main characters basically married in secret, and they have not been together since, and she broke his heart. He's never loved anyone since, and they have to be in each other's presence again. Things go on from there. Absolute perfection again. So now let's move on to the next trope, which is gonna be Grumpy Sunshine. So first of all, I have Collide by Bel Cabra. This is a book that I adored, of course, as well. And this is also a sports romance, which I actually do not have as a trope in here. So again, I do actually have like others though. So I guess it could count if we, but I obviously just did it by one trope. I didn't want to do all the, tropes in one, if that makes sense. But anyways, this is Grumpy Sunshine. The heroine is the grumpy one, hero is the sunshine one. And she wants to be a sports psychologist, and he is a hockey player, and she mostly tries to stay away from hockey players, but basically they have to work on this project together, and things go on from there. So I love this book so much. It is incredibly fun and steamy and quick to read and addicting, but it gets emotional as well, and it's just absolutely wonderful, and I highly recommend it. And I adore the Grumpy Sunshine trope, and so I could talk for hours about that one. but this is one of them that absolutely stands out, and for more than just that, again, you know, incredible book, definitely pick it up. And the other book for Grumpy Sunshine is one of my all-time favorites as well, and that is With You Forever by Chloe Leese. I'm gonna put the US cover on the screen because I do actually prefer those, and also you might recognize that one and not this one. This book also actually has Marriage of Convenience and like Forced Proximity, and the Grumpy Sunshine in this is delicious. So this one has Sunshine Heroine, Grumpy Hero, and oh my god, you know, this book means literally everything to me. Like, there are animals, an adorable cat, and he, you know, is very grumpy, does not want to get attached, and then they, you know, like, the heroine is just so sweet and loving and beautiful, and they find such a wonderful love together, and it is so special and so sweet, and I adore it. And if you have not read this one yet, I highly, highly recommend you do so. I adore this whole series, but this one honestly might be my favorite. I have not read the last one yet, and it is very difficult, but this one just, like, you know, hit a special spot in my heart, and it's just incredible. So definitely check it out. They have a Marriage of Convenience. They don't tell anyone. There's basically like a big family in this series, and they don't tell them, and they live in this like house in the woods that is far away from everything, and things go on from there. So definitely read it. Please, you will not regret it. Moving on to the next trope, I only have one book, but it is a great one, and that is The Fiancé Farce by Alexandria Bellefleur. And I don't think I said, did I say that it is fake dating? And this is actually not just fake dating, it is a fake engagement. And so they get engaged. Tansy keeps getting asked by her family, you know, why she's not dating anyone and all that stuff, and she basically says that she does have a girlfriend, and she says that from like a model that she sees on a magazine, thinking that obviously they're never gonna meet her, and you know, it's gonna conveniently solve all her problems. But then guess what? They do meet her, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is your girlfriend. And Gemma, the girlfriend, actually goes along with it, and then she proposes that they have a fake engagement because she basically needs to get married, you know, for, you know, like inheritance reasons or just like something in the will. And Tansy needs money, which Gemma has more than enough of, and so they create this deal, and it is wonderful. It is so fun. There are some fun fan family vibes in this as well, and I adore Alexandria Bellefleur. And if you have not read this yet, you need to, and like, I will never get over this beautiful cover as well. And so yes, the next trope is gonna be Hate to Love, and this one I honestly have struggled with a little bit. I do love it and I see the potential, but I have not fully found a lot of books that I love in this trope, because I feel like especially in contemporary romance it is very hard to pull off in a way that fully works. But one book that certainly pulls it off is Will They Won't They by Ava Wilder. I love this book so much. This is actually also a second chance romance, and they are actors, and they basically were in this like TV show together, like a paranormal show, like many years ago. You know, it had a lot of seasons. They had an on and off screen romance, and then things fell apart, and the heroine quit the show because of this. But she comes back to like for like a reunion season or whatever, like the last season there will ever be, and so they have to work together again. So many strong feelings, you know, and again they have to be a couple in the show, and so it is just absolutely delicious. And I have said it many times before at this point that I absolutely love acting romances. Anything to do with film, especially acting, is the best thing ever. I love these books so much, and Ava Wilder has one more book like this, How to Fake It in Hollywood, and she will have another one either later this year or next year. Absolutely cannot wait for that. And she literally made me fall in love with celebrity romance. Actually, she was one of the first ones, and her books are just incredibly addicting and emotional and swoon-worthy. And if you have not read this, I feel like I have not heard enough people talk about her books. You need to pick it up. And the other book is, once again, a historical romance, which is The Duke Gets Desperate by Diana Quincy. And this has like also a very specific subtrope that is that like someone comes into a house that they think they either like inherited or bought or whatever, and then they arrive at that house and they meet someone else that is claiming that they are supposed to live there, and the person that's coming there needs to get the fuck out, and they have to live there for the time being until they figure out what to do. That is the case in here. And even though it sounds very specific, I could tell you two other things, two other books that actually have the same exact trope. I will not be doing that right now, but maybe in the part 2. And so this one was just so much fun. This trope is perfect because it gives you hate to love and forced proximity, and you know, they have to be in this house together. And there is also like a deadline, obviously, because they're like one of the, you know, they're gonna figure it out and one of them will have to leave, but of course they're not gonna leave because they're gonna fall in love and live there forever. So yeah, I absolutely love this one. I love Diana Quincy's books, and if you have not read them yet, you need to pick them up ASAP. Then let's talk about a trope I actually don't like most of the time, but I have two books that I absolutely adored with this trope, and that is Brother's Best Friend. So I mean, the reason I don't generally like them is because I feel like a lot of the time, most of the time, the trope is done in a way that, like, you know, the brother overreacts and gets insanely dramatic and like kind of almost like possessive, and it just can be really toxic and annoying, and I hate it. These two books, however, I think slayed. And so first one is If Only You by Chloe Leese. Yes, I'm recommending another book from the series because, again, I adore it. And they do a lot of the time have like the same qualities but very different vibes. And in this one, the brother's best friend trope is actually really nice. Like, the hero in this is the best friend, obviously, of the brother. And he is scared that he's not good enough for the heroine and all those things. And he really likes her, but he's like, you know, oh my gosh, like, she's my best friend's younger sister. I can't be with her. But the brother is actually a sweetheart. He is very supportive, and he is not a dick about it. And for most part, the fact that the hero is more scared than he needs to be, basically. And I loved this so much. And this actually has a very fun trope that is fake friendship. And so they decide to be fake friends because basically the hero is a little bit more rebellious, and the heroine keeps being told that she kind of keeps being treated like a child a little bit because she's the youngest, and she feels like people don't respect her enough and they baby her a lot. And so she wants to be friends with him so that people think that she's more cool, basically. And he wants to be friends with her because he needs to like help fix his reputation, that kind of thing. And I absolutely love that. Obviously that is not something that happens very often, and it just worked so well for these characters. It was so sweet, you know. It meant that they did become actual friends before falling in love, and it was just such a joy to see, and I loved every second. And the other book for this is Cross the Line by Simone Soltani, so another sports romance. In this one, they basically decide to team up to work together because the hero in this also needs to fix his reputation, and the heroine in this needs some experience to get her dream job, like in sports, and the hero is an F1 driver, so they will work together. She will be like his assistant, and so they have to work together very closely. So of course also forced proximity and all that good stuff, and it was just so much fun. I absolutely cannot wait for Simone Soltani's next release that is coming, I think, in May, and I'm counting the days. But until then, if you have not read this, you absolutely need to, and it's such an addicting, super fun sports romance, and you absolutely need to pick it up. The next one is the bodyguard trope that I think we are all obsessed with, and I love it so much. And I will only have one book for this, even though I could have more, but this is just one that does it in the way that like I imagined it to be, and just I love it so much. And it is Twisted Games by Anna Huang. So you probably have heard of this, but either way, if you have still not read it because you think it's overhyped or whatever, I do think this is incredible, and have only read the first book and this book in the series. I have been a little bit scared to continue because after this, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna love the other books just as much, you know? And so we have a princess and he's her bodyguard, and I feel like in a lot of these other books, it is not like that, because I feel like in the royal sense, it is like the most dramatic, angsty, forbidden romance vibe, and it just works so well, you know? And I loved it so much. Like, slow burn, incredibly addicting. I just like could not get enough of this, and I feel like I wish there was more of this. And there's supposed to be like the TV show for this series, And I really, like, I don't really care that much because, again, like, I have not read this whole series. I am not entirely attached to, like, anyone else. But this couple, oh my god, please, I really hope they're gonna slay that because it has so much potential. And so, yeah, if you have not read this yet, I think it's incredible and you should definitely pick it up. The next one we have here is Best Friends to Lovers, aka one of my absolute favorite tropes ever. And so I forced myself to only pick one book for this because, again, I could talk about it for days. But again, let me know if you would like a full video on this trope. I could absolutely do that. I have actually done that before though. So if I remember, I'm gonna link it down below. But that was a long time ago though. So the book that started it all, Go Deep by Rosie Adams. I will never shut up about this book because this one literally changed my life. Like, I vividly remember the video I did this in. Like, it was one of my favorite videos that I've ever done. It was basically reading my favorite author's favorite books, and the author was Talia Hibbert. And I have been wanting to do that series ever since, and spoiler alert, it will be happening soon. But it was just so good. And, you know, this actually, I think, was the first book that I read by Rosie Adams, and she became one of my favorite authors. And so this book just means a lot to me. And it's also incredibly short, but like every single word matters and you need to read it. So this is Best Friends to Lovers, and it made me realize that it can be just so deliciously perfect. They're actually best friends. And so the hero in this, Xander, basically has a girlfriend at the very beginning, and he literally like drops everything and runs to Nevaeh's side when she needs him because he will never care about another woman as much as her. And guess what? It means that they're gonna fall in love. It's perfect. And the emotions are there, and the chemistry's there, everything is there. And you absolutely have to read this, seriously, and just, please read this, pick it up. You will not regret it. And again, it's super short, you will devour it, yes. And last but by no means least, we have the single parent trope. And this is a trope that I absolutely love, and I could absolutely do a dedicated video to this as well because there's so many incredible books with it, but one of the absolute best is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, one of my all-time favorites, like perfection. I loved every second of this book. It is incredible. It is also second chance. It is emotional and sweet and beautiful and heartbreaking and romantic and steamy and like everything I could ever want in a romance. These two main characters basically years ago had 7 Days in June that were just like, you know, lovely and fun and wonderful, and then they didn't see each other for a long time. They're both writers. They leave each other messages in their writing, and they get back together in the most beautiful way imaginable. And the heroine in this has a daughter, and Tia Williams is actually going to put out a YA book that is about her daughter this year, and I am incredibly excited for that, and I'm so happy that exists, and I will be reading that immediately. But yeah, this is perfect, and I literally could not recommend it enough. So definitely pick it up. And last but not least, another single parent romance is How You Get the Girl by Anita Kelly. I love this so much. So this is actually also a sports romance, and we have a sapphic romance in here. And I actually feel like this explores parenthood a lot, and it is also a basketball romance. They work together because one of the heroines is a basketball coach and the other one is a retired basketball player, and it is just beautiful. It is emotional and meaningful. It has incredible depression representation, and it's steamy and fun, and I just absolutely adore Anita Kelly. And I think it's very difficult to say, but this might be my favorite Anita Kelly book. I've read every single one except for one, actually. So not every single one. All of them except for one. And I just, yeah, could not recommend this enough as well. This has like foster parenting, and it is just beautiful. It is incredible, and please read it. So that will conclude this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some fun recommendations from this. And again, please let me know what tropes you would like to see and all of that. And yeah, if you made it this far in the video, leave a basketball emoji down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon in another video. Bye!